When people hear the word hoodoo, many immediately think of magic, curses, or something evil. But what if I told you that's not what hoodoo truly is? The real history of hoodoo is a story of survival, resilience, faith, and unbreakable spirit of African ancestors. Today, we're uncovering the truth behind one of America's most misunderstood traditions. Welcome back to Zodiac and Soul Insights. If you're interested in learning about hoodoo, African American spirituality, and the rich history behind these traditions, you're in the right place. This series is about education and preserving history while respecting the people who carried these traditions through unimaginable hardship. All right, spiritual babes, let's get into it. What is hoodoo? One of the biggest misconceptions is that hoodoo is a religion. In reality, hoodoo is generally understood as African American spiritual and folk tradition, which is a system of practices, beliefs, healing methods, and rootwork that develop over generations. Unlike religions that have one central doctrine or deity, hoodoo has historically been practiced in many different ways depending on family traditions, local communities, and regional customs. Throughout history, hoodoo has also been called rootwork, conjure, or conjuring work. While these names are related, the practices have varied from place to place. Now let's get a little deep into it. Let's go back to African roots. To understand hoodoo, we have to begin in Africa. Before the transatlantic slave trade, many African societies had rich spiritual traditions. These traditions included herbal medicine, ancestor reverence, prayer, spiritual protection, healing rituals, and a belief that physical and spiritual worlds are deeply connected. Many of these practices came from regions that included present-day West and Central Africa. Although these traditions differed from cultures, they shared common themes that would later influence hoodoo. See, slavery changed everything. When millions of Africans were violently taken from their homelands and forced into slavery, they were separated from their families, spiritual leaders, languages, and many of the materials that they traditionally used in their spiritual practices. Despite these horrific conditions, they refused to let their traditions disappear. They adapted. And I'm talking about, instead of giving up their spirituality, they found new ways to preserve it using the plants, roots, and resources available in America. They combined inherited African traditions with Christian influences, especially with Psalms, while continuing to pass knowledge from one generation to the next. See, hoodoo was more than survival. For enslaved Africans, hoodoo wasn't simply about rituals. It was about hope. It became a way to seek healing, protection, justice, courage, and spiritual strength during some of the darkest moments in history. These traditions help preserve identity and community while offering comfort and resilience in the face of oppressions. Now let's talk about why hoodoo is often misunderstood. Over time, hoodoo became surrounded by myths and stereotypes. Movies, televisions, and popular culture often portrayed it as something dark or frightening. But many historians and practitioners emphasize that hoodoo has long included practices centered on healing, protection, blessing, cleansing, and spiritual empowerment. Like many traditions, experiences, and practices vary among individuals and communities. But reducing hoodoo to fear or superstition overlooks its historical and cultural significance. Now, I know a lot of people want to just jump right into it, but let's talk about why learning the history matters. Understanding hoodoo means understanding the resilience of African Americans who protected their culture under extraordinary circumstances. Learning its history isn't just about spiritual practices. It's also about honoring the creativity, strength, and determination of ancestors who preserved their traditions despite immense hardship. Okay, my spiritual babes, this is just the beginning of our Hoodoo education series. In the next episode, we'll explore how Hoodoo and Voodoo are different. Because despite what many people believe, they are not the same. Now, if you enjoyed learning about Hoodoo history, African American spiritual traditions, and the deeper meanings behind these practices, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.